What is going on, everybody? Oh goodness. That's scuff right there. Simone threw me off, but I was kind of choking on the water. That's a good way to start out the season, right? But we're back for season 3. It's opening day. I'm kind of dying right now to kick off the stream, but I'm joined by Bagels. Bagels, how's it going, man?
I'm doing good. Not choking, unlike you.
Excuse me. I am definitely choking here. But that's all right. That's all right. We're good. I'm gonna survive here. And yeah, we got some Novice League action here, season 3. It's been a hype. It's been kind of a long road to get to this point. I know everyone's really excited to get things going. I know I'm excited to get things going. Before we get started, gotta give a couple quick shout outs here. We got Clinch Casper with the tier 1 sub, and also Goff coming back for the 2 months. So thank you. I appreciate it here. And yeah, thank you guys. But we got a great matchup here tonight, Bagels. It's the first ever action in the Novice League, and actually, we have a little bit of a rooting interest in this one.
Yeah, both of us GMs. You're GM for Genesis. I'm GM for Wisps. And actually, some of our teams already played earlier. In fact, apparently my team beat you in the Challenger League against your actual team. And we'll have to see the results from the Titan and Rival later on in the day.
Yeah, we will have to see. That was an unfortunate game. We'll be all right though. We'll be all right. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see. I know we got a little bit of rooting interest, but we'll have to see how it's gonna go here. So Genesis versus Wisps, obviously the Novice League new for this season. Looking at the rosters here, we got a couple of familiar faces in the lobby that I see. We see not Kyros. He's on Genesis here. Also, he's gonna be joined by Mace. And it looks like we got Eddie Ludd in there for our team, and then we also know Chillin, who's on your team on the other side of the pitch. Anyone you're looking at to watch out for in this game?
I definitely say for your team, Kyros, and for Wisps, it's going to be Chillin and Fuse. I think both of them are really solid players, and I think actually Eddie on Genesis could be a good second man for Kyros as well. So I'm assuming that this is going to be a close matchup. I think it'll go to at least game 4.
All right. Well, it's going to at least game 4. Well, I'll bring it right back to you. Obviously, I know you're rooting for your boys in the Wisp here, but if you had to make a prediction, are you taking the Wisp or you going with Genesis here?
I'm confident in the boys on Wisps.
All right. Well, fair enough. I guess we'll get these guys in here. I got to root for my boys on Genesis, but you never know how it's going to turn out. It's the first match of the season, so really anything can go in this one, and it's going to be an exciting matchup to kick things off.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's definitely been a long wait for the offseason. We've had a few bumps in the road, but finally getting it underway for opening night, and definitely excited to see the season unfold.
Oh, and that one almost going in off the kickoff. Yeah, I'm excited as well. Should be a great season. And obviously, action kicking things off. Genesis versus Wisps, game number 1. As we talked about, Genesis in the blue here with not Kyros, Mace, and Eddie Ludd, and the Wisps in the orange with Chillin, Fuse, and Mutant Zombies on their roster here. And early on here, Genesis trying to get some pressure started, but it's going to be blocked up now. Mutant Zombies trying to get the touch there. It's not going to happen. As Fuse going to take a demo, sending it down the field, trying to get the touch there, can't find it, send over to the corner. Now Chillin, blocking it up, going towards the net. Kyros has to race back, and a nice touch from him there. As Fuse continuing the offense, could be an opportunity here. Chillin looking for the shot, but it's denied away, and a good little bit of offensive pressure right there for the Wisps.
Yeah, Genesis, they're a little slow on defense at the moment as a whiff comes out in the midfield, and that is all it takes for Genesis to come back from the barrage of offense.
So the first goal going to hop in here from Mace, right over the top of Chillin, who can't get the touch, and a nice shot there. So first goal on stream going to go to Mace there. Nice shot for them, and they're going to take the early 1-0 lead, only a minute in right now.
Yeah, Wisps, they had all that pressure the first minute, and Genesis was able to hold it off. A few shots coming out from Chillin and Mutant Zombieism, but only one recorded shot, and then just the one whiff in the midfield. That's all it took for Genesis to come right back, and they're awkward on defense again.
Yeah, well, that's all it takes sometimes, especially at these lower levels, especially in Nemesis and League play. You make one mistake and the other team can capitalize, as we see one right there, almost able to get a ball towards the net from Kyros, but it's not going to go this time. It's out in the midfield again. Kyros taking a shot there, but it's going to go off. Follow-up from Eddie is going to 50 it right in, right past Mutant Zombieism, and Genesis a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, and another miss coming out from Chillin. That's four times right after even that opening miss to secure that first goal for Genesis. And I know I was talking to him a little bit earlier. He says he's a little nervous. Maybe those nerves kind of getting to him for the first match for opening night on Season 3. But either way, he's going to have to step up to support Fuse because these whiffs are going to keep them on defense at the moment.
Yeah, Fuse is their highest rated player, but Vibin or Chillin, he's got the experience in Nemesis. He's been around, he's been in the league here, so he's got to channel that experience, and hopefully for his sake, he can get it going here. As it's an open net there, and Fuse just barely able to get back, but again, the Wisps just giving it away. Almost another one goes in for Genesis, as this one pops right out. Kyros with the shot, he's going to make him pay for the mistake, and again, everyone from Genesis now on the board with a goal.
Yeah, that was just a case where all of Wisps, they were all clustered in the same spot, and they had actually a lot of time to work with. There was so much space being given by Genesis, and Fuse, he kind of just panicked and dished it back out to the middle, and somebody on Wisps needed to communicate that they had time. There's another one almost going in off the kickoff, and Wisps might be out of this game 1.
Yeah, there's still over 2.5 minutes, but yeah, with the way they're playing right now, it's looking a little bit rough. As Eddie, he's going to send that one down and send it in. Another one from him, and Genesis, they're looking really good out of the blocks here.
Yeah, another just wide rotation from the Wisps, and Fuse, he just couldn't get back in time. The whole rotation for Wisps just kind of seems to be a miss, only with one shot on the board past half-type, and Genesis are just kind of dominating at the moment. I don't think they're doing anything special. I think it's just Wisps playing subpar at the moment.
Yeah, they definitely could turn up the offense a little bit as well here. Like you said, only one shot so far, and it seemed like Genesis has controlled, pretty much all of the pace in this one. As another missed touch comes out, Mace could have had a shot, but it's not going to go this time. As this ball is sent up, Fuse now out in the midfield, a little bit of a miss comes out, and it's going to go right back to Mace. Going to try to take it up the wall here, see what he can do, passing out of the midfield. Kyros looking for the touch, sending it towards the net. Fuse able to push it off to the side, though, picks up a savior medal. Still looking for another shot from the Wisps. As this one goes off to the side, Mutant Zombieism trying to get it over there. Finally in the offensive zone, Fuse with another one there, but it's just going to go a little bit high. They finally get some offense, but right as they do, it's sent back down, and that's kind of been the story of this game so far. They just can't get any sustained offense.
Yeah, and if they had any hope of getting back into this game 1, they needed to hit that shot right there. It wasn't easy, but we know, or at least I know Fuse can make those hits, but now with just over a minute left, this game's kind of locked up for Genesis for game 1, and if Wisps have any hope of they need to get the momentum back onto their side for game 2. They just need to clean up those mistakes in that rotation, because the way Genesis are looking right now, they're not doing anything special, but in the Novice League and Prospect, all you kind of have to do is just play solid, because these inconsistencies are going to come out at these lower levels.
Yeah, definitely, and that's always the big separator, inconsistencies, and if you can, like you said, if you can be solid, you definitely have a way better chance than those who can't maintain that consistency. So final 30 seconds here. The Wisps looking to try to get one here. A double commit comes out, but no one from the Wisps able to make them pay. As Fuse now looking for the shot, he's going to put one in, and finally they are on the board.
Yeah, just a double commit for Genesis there, and then even after the double commit, they're still on top of each other, and just nobody gets to the ball in time. Fuse able to sneak it past. And finally a mistake coming out from Genesis, maybe trying to get a little bit momentum back on the Wisp side for game 2.
That's exactly what you need if you're them, and they might be looking for another one here, but Fuse unable to make the touch. Final 20 seconds now, another shot towards net. Finally starting to get some offense here. Maybe they're finding themselves as Chillin pops it up in the midfield looking for the shot, but Kyros shutting it down. A missed touch there is going to allow Mace to counter it back, but Fuse, good mechanics to get back there, is now this one back in the midfield, but at this point, the game is lost 4-1 at the moment. Is that one's going to hit the ground, and Genesis are going to come out here and take game number 1.
Yeah, and besides that last goal that came in the final 30 seconds, Genesis, they were just solid the whole time, getting the clears they needed, minimal whiffs, and I think for Wisps, it's just the way the roster is structured. Fuse and Chillin at the top, 2 very high MMR players for Novice League, and Mutant Zombieism, he's kind of on that lower end. I think he's around 970 or so, so he's much lower than the other 2 players. And I noticed in that opening game that his rotation seemed a little bit amiss, and I know this is something that they've been working on. And I think he just needs to be more confident in his positioning, because Fuse and Chillin are kind of they're in the right spots, but the rotation for Mutant Zombieism just isn't there at the moment.
Yeah, that's an interesting point you bring up there with Fuse and Chillin at the top of the MMR, and it's it's one of the things as a GM that you have to debate, especially with how the MMR caps are set up. Usually, you can get either 2 high MMR people and then 2 the way lower, or you can kind of build around towards getting a couple in the middle there. And it seemed like for your sake this season, you decided to go with the 2 higher ones. Was that a tough debate as a GM to go for the 2 higher instead of maybe going out for the middle?
I think I definitely was a little bit more balanced on some of my other rosters. I kind of went a little bit aggro on this one, and that wasn't really the plan. I had no skills at 1128, and Vibin was the highest player, but no skills was unable to play following the draft due to family stuff. So I had to pick up another player, and Fuse was on the market, so I decided to add him. And I think even with the struggles from Zombieism, I think as long as he just starts to play a little bit more solid, hold on.
Oh,
my. Kyros, that would have been quite the read for a novice player. But yeah, I think Zombieism, he can fit in well. He just needs to be more confident in himself.
Yeah, we'll have to see here if he can get back into this rotation as game 2 is underway. Genesis taking game number 1 in a 4-1 margin, and they're looking to see if they can continue it on in game number 2, as this one in the Genesis zone for now. Fuse taking it up, looking for the backboard read, sitting out towards the middle, Chillin trying to get to it. A double commit comes out from Wisps and stuck in the corner, as now Eddie going to try to get it out, but so far so good in this game, at least from looking at it right here. It seems like they've had quite a bit more opportunities, although no shots to show for it. It does seem like they're getting a little bit of that possession early, and maybe trying to build on some of that momentum they had at the end of game 1.
Yeah, they don't have a shot yet, but either way, the pressure just still pouring onto this blue half at the moment. And one of the things I was talking to the players about earlier is a good pass to the middle, but Chillin not able to handle it. I was talking to the Wisps about patience, and when you're playing at this lower level in Novice and Prospect, sometimes just being more patient and being more solid and allowing those mistakes to come out can give you some easy victories that you might not otherwise have. Because these inconsistencies, even in these first 2 games, we've seen them come out from both teams. And in Prospect and Novice, it's just about who can be more solid. So I was telling them, for patience and kickoffs, those are the goals.
And we'll love to see if they can get onto those a little bit more. They've done a good job so far in game 2, but Genesis still out shooting them at the moment as they're back on the attack once more. This ball popped up high, still scoreless at just about halfway, as now Mace trying to stay with it. He gets bumped out of the way. Good bump from Mutant as he's able to find a touch. And Fuse sending it down, looking to stay with it, but no boost to work with. Now Mace trying to challenge that one again, but a double whiff comes out. It's going to allow Orange to get back on offense, as this one is sent out aside. Mace popping it back in, Chillin trying to wait for it. Mace pops it up high. Could be an opportunity here, but it's denied away. Again, another great save, and now it's going to lead to a counterattack opportunity. Kyros gets it in the corner, but Genesis, they're kind of clumped up here. Ball on the ball. Mace trying to get it out. Mutant seeing if he can get something going here. Pops down the midfield, looking for a teammate. Chillin really trying to keep this ball in. Finally, pressure coming out from them as Chillin's up again, looking for the shot, but he can't hit it. And finally, it's been a scoreless game so far, but we're really starting to see some pressure ramp up a little bit.
This is the absolute antithesis of game 1. Just goal of 5 goals game 1, nothing been able to get put into the back of the net for game 2. And neither team really has that many shots. Genesis sitting at 2, Wisps at 1, and just nobody can seem to get any shot on net. There's pressure on both sides, but just nothing, no solid opportunities coming out of it. As Chillin on this one, off the backboard, but nobody there to follow again. And this is a problem for Wisps. They've had so many opportunities on the blue half, but just nobody's there to follow it.
Yeah, the continuation just not there quite yet, and that's why we're still stuck at this 0-0 scoreline. We'll have to see who can find their teammates, who can get back to that offense from game one. Genesis scored 4 goals, 0 right now as Kyros and Mace, a little bit of double commit. This ball goes up. Eddie thinking about it. He's going to challenge too far. Fuse able to take it down. Mace trying to cut him off there. Ball still dangerous and chilling with a shot, but Mace with a good touch as Mutant. He's trying to get to it, but unable to. And again, another opportunity now. It's not going to go this time, and we're down to the final 30 seconds, still scoreless here, and it's seeming like next goal will win it as the shot goes on net, but great save. Able to put it off to the side.
Another opportunity back to the middle with Fuse backflip. Zombie last back trying to get the pass over, but just another too slow of a developing play. And we got 15 seconds left. Nobody's still able to hit a shot. We might be going to overtime unless some sort of shenanigans at 0 seconds can happen.
Oh, a little bit of a triple commit comes out. The net is open. Eddie trying to pass it, but no one there. And it's still out to the side as Mace sends it towards the net. Chillin. He's just going to send it to the ground, and we are scoreless heading to overtime. The defense kind of holding on there, or maybe a lack of offense is more the better term there, as nobody able to score in regulation in game number 2.
Yeah, and a completely unrelated note, you know the unwritten rule of Nemesis, right, Rocker Man? It's no sweeps on stream.
Oh no! Why did you say that?
We can't have a sweep on stream.
You might have just jinxed us. Bagels might have put the nail in the coffin for his own work.
No.
He said it, and Mace capitalizes, winning game number 2 with a beautiful shot there. And he's gonna send it in, and now Genesis a 2-0 lead here. Bagels, you're gonna have to speak for yourself here, because that was Caster's curse. That was Caster's curse incarnated right there in front of our eyes.
It wouldn't be Nemesis if there wasn't Caster's curse. But my input or not, that was just another mistake. I think coming out from Chillin there, he was just kind of pushed up too far and got stuck in the midfield. That allowed Mace to put that shot in, and nobody was back. And that everything changes off that kickoff, because they had so much pressure in regulation, and then that one kickoff happened, and I think they scored in 13 seconds. So just a matter of who can get control off that kickoff at times.
Yeah, it definitely seems like that for sure. And yeah, Genesis just doing just enough to be able to get to that win. And now as we head to game number 3, it definitely seemed like for that one the Wisps played a lot better. But both teams, they really struggle with that offense. I mean, Bagels, is it going to continue into game 3? Do you think this is kind of a breakout moment for both teams?
I think this is where we might see something in between game 2 and game 1. As Chillin balls out his own teammate. I think we're going to see some sort of in between. I don't think it's going to be a 1-0 game, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout like it was in game 1. I think Wisps are really going to try and bear down and come back here. They knew they played solid in game 2. It just didn't produce any results for them. And going back to the unwritten rule, please no sweeps on stream. It's not allowed. Especially when it's my team getting swept on stream. So I'm hoping the boys on Wisps can come back out here.
As much as I'd love to see a Nemesis win, we gotta put that Nemesis broom emote away. Save it for another day. Hopefully we don't see a sweep here for the sake of the content. But we'll have to see. And I'm curious to see how the Wisps are going to recover. I know, especially in our series, even playing a lot of series, even having the experience, like Chillin has. I know, especially on stream to play the first series of the season, there's just some nerves about it. So I'm gonna be curious to see if they can, hunker down and get through those nerves and maybe pull out a game here. Is that one almost gonna go in, but not gonna go this time?
Yeah, and it is only the first game of the season, so if you lose it, it's not the biggest of deals to lose. But you always want to try and start off on a good foot, and especially since the opening match for the season for Wisps is on stream, so it would feel good for them to win, or even good for Genesis to start out hot out the gates on stream. And just another pass to the middle, and just nobody's there for Wisps. The opportunities are just developing too slow.
Yeah, just unable to put that one in. But wait a second, Chillin sends it down. Kyros gonna have to make that touch. Good read from him. He's able to get that one up high and keep it out of the net as this one's sent down. Kyros with a nice touch. It's open. Mason's just got to send it on, but he can't hit the touch. And that one's going to go off to the side. A huge missed opportunity. He had the open net. He just had to put it in. And speaking of missed opportunities, another one there as they're almost able to put it in, but a huge pinch is going to send it off to the side. And we're still looking scoreless here, but not for long as Chillin going to come in and the Wisps are finally going to get on the board.
Yeah, that was good shot placement from Chillin right there. It wasn't actually the most power on that shot, but Eddie, he positioned himself way too tentatively on that near post. He should have been center or even back post, and that allowed Chillin to try and sneak it behind him. It wasn't with pace, but it was enough.
Yeah, just enough to put it home, and now the Wisps are in the lead in this one, and have to see if they can continue on as a block comes out in the midfield. And Mace going to send it down towards net. A team bump comes out. Mutant Zombieism has to bail him out. He does. As Mace trying to send it in once more. But a good touch from Fuse. Sends it a long way. Looking for Mutant. Eddie going to find the touch. Popping it up. Chilling right into Mace, who sends it out. Back in the offensive zone for the moment. It's blocked back across Mace. Trying to find the touch. Can't do it there. Still out in the midfield is Eddie. Into the corner, and that one's blocked across. A team pinch, unfortunate there, but unfortunately for them is that Genesis was not on that ball, and they're staying back just a little bit, but they are gonna have to look to get a little bit more offense here. Shot total still kind of staying down here, 2-3 in favor of Genesis, as that one goes in front of the net, but Genesis has to get some offensive pressure going.
Yeah, and Wisps, they've definitely done a better job about keeping the pressure on, but once again, you mentioned the low shot totals. There's so much pressure being held on both sides, but nothing just is coming out of it. The opportunities are barely just slipping out of hand or back into the midfield. As there's another one, another pass to the middle. Zombie, he gets a good dunk actually, but just not there for the shot. And I just don't think anybody's trusting these passes coming from each other on both teams at the moment.
Yeah, I think that might be one of the reasons why I was going to make a point is a pinch almost comes out. This has been one of the weirdest kind of series to watch, is that there's been so much pressure, but so little shots. Usually when you get that pressure, you get a bunch of shots on and gives your team a bunch of opportunities. But, oh my goodness, Eddie almost hits that one in. Mace is back up for it, but he can't find it. But almost an insane redirect from Eddie. He can't hit it, though. And their Genesis is still going to be trailing by one here. But wait a second, almost two. But Vibin, he can't score, as that one's hit out to the side.
Yeah, that was almost two highlight reel plays coming out from Genesis in this series. The first one being Kyros in that game too, and that one with Eddie. That would have been a great redirect. A whiff in the midfield, but luckily enough space for Chillin. He realizes that he has time. Still time. Where's Genesis to pounce on this ball? Finally, but Fuse is able to get it past one, and they have just over 10 seconds to try and find something.
Got to get it clear now, as this one's stuck in their zone, down by one. Can they get it out? Mace is trying to get up to a Mutant Zombieism, sending it towards the net. It's just going to go in the 50, and that's going to be the dagger for game number 3.
Hey, you know what? I was right. No sweeps on screen, boys.
The curse does not come back to haunt us.
Yeah, able to come back in this this game 3. Wisps, they've definitely looking stronger, but they still have a lot to improve on. Specifically, Fuse and Chillin have kind of been butting heads on the rotation. Multiple team bumps are just missed rotations coming out from them. Mutant Zombieism has actually played a lot better in this game 3. His challenge is looking more confident, kind of more in the right spot where he needs to be in the rotation, but Chillin and Fuse, they kind of need to respect each other's positioning a little bit more.
Yeah, we definitely saw those bumps that you're talking about in this one. And, now the Wisps, though, able to come back, despite a couple of those mistakes, they're able to pull off the victory. No sweep there, Bagels. He's fortunate. He's lucky to get away. Hey, new season of Nemesis. We're done. We're done with sweeps on stream. We're done. We had so many last season. We've had enough now. So it's 2-1 at least. So now the Wisps, they do have a little bit of momentum going into this one, and Bengals, what do you think they have to do to keep that up?
I think it is just the rotation for them. Unfortunately, that game one was just a little bit of a mess and all over the place for Wisps, chilling with multiple whiffs in the midfield and double commits galore. But the game two and game three, there's been less whiffs and the rotation's been a little bit more solid from them. But I actually wanted to bring it back to Genesis. I mean, I know we talk about Kyros, he's kind of the guy on that team, but I kind of feel like it's Eddie at this point. I don't know much about Mace, but I feel like Eddie's a good support player for Kyros at the moment.
Yeah, it's interesting. Mace is actually the top player on the team. He's actually one of the top in the Novice League. But yeah, Eddie has definitely stepped up here a little bit in this one, and he's performed pretty well. And speaking of the man, there he is.
There he is.
On command. He scores and puts it home.
I just had to speak his name, and he showed up. But unfortunately, chilling with a poor touch back to the midfield and zombieism, he kind of just double committed with chillin. He could have maybe been back for the shot from Eddie, even though it was a powerful shot, but just another mistake coming out from Wisps. And I feel like the way, not to toot my own team's horn, but I feel like the way Wisps have scored has been more off skill, and then a lot of Genesis's goals have just, it's kind of been to nobody's fault but Wisps.
Yeah, and that's one of the tough things, especially when you're in the Novice League. You got to cut down on those mistakes, and if you can't do that, you're gonna be punished, as that one almost goes in. But yeah, they're gonna have to find a way to cut down on these mistakes. As a great bump comes out, almost gonna go in Eddie off the crossbar. Almost a great play there, but not gonna go this time, as Genesis still on the offense. Kyros looking for the bump, throws Fuse off, and that one's gonna be a shot there for Eddie, but it's going to pop out, and nothing going to do for Genesis this time, as a backflip comes out, chilling. Able to send it down. Back into the corner, Eddie now catching it. Demo on Kyros, as Eddie's trying to get a 50, but Mutant just going right through him. And that one is sent out there, but Genesis still holding on to this 1-0 lead in this one, and we have to see if they can somehow bring it back here, as they've actually just exploded with their shots in this game. As a pinch comes out, almost going to go, but they've exploded with their shots here. 5 shots for them as opposed to 0 for Wisps.
Yeah, it's not the only thing that's exploding. It's the double demo just came out. But either way, Wisps still being held back on the defensive side. This time the shot totals coming out from Genesis back to their game 1 form, as finally one coming on from Wisps there, a dunk. Turn in the midfield, Fuse with a great dunk, and it's gonna sneak in. Shot totals or not, Wisps were able to find one.
Yeah, nice play there. Mace cleared it right into the defender, and Eddie did the same exact thing, right into Fuse, and Mace just is not ready for that dunk, right back on net. And the Wisps find their second shot, and they're gonna put it in. And now we're all tied at 1 apiece here, with 3 minutes remaining in game number 4.
Yeah, I was just about to compliment Genesis as hold on. Oh my goodness.
That's still open there. A shot. Eddie gonna put it home off the mistake.
I guess I can continue to compliment them because they put one in. But either way, another whiff coming out from Wisps, and just the inconsistency is overbearing for them in this series. Just so many whiffs coming out, and Genesis are just capitalizing time and time again, as they've proven to not be the one not making mistakes. I know Fuse just dunked the hell out of Eddie to score that first goal, but once again, it's just been these skill goals this whole time. Another one is going to sneak into the right post for Fuse. I'm not sure what this game 4 is at the moment, Rocker Man.
I'm not sure either. That's just a 50 that just barely squeaks in past the post. But the Wisps are finally done whiffing. And Bengals, I gotta ask the question. I know there's no caster bias, but if there was, or we might have to petition for a new name for the Wisps. The Whiffs, as Kyros puts it. Sorry, that's kind of toxic, but Kyros puts it in, and Genesis takes the lead. As a whip comes out, a whip did come out.
It's very apropos for what has been happening in this game 4. But the way it's going, we're only at halftime and 5 goals have been scored, so we could very well see many more than that. But honestly, I'm glad you brought that up, because I'm not going to lie, the Wisps is really hard to say on stream, because it is close to whiffs, and it's just a hard word to say. I'm kind of regretting that decision. I do like the name, but it is a little bit hard to say.
It definitely is. I had to be the first one to jump on the bandwagon. I know someone's gonna make the meme. I had to be the first one to do it. Had to quote it on stream as, "Oh my goodness, Mace with a drop down." Almost gonna put it in, but yeah, it is a little bit of a difficult name to say. It's that SPS that gets you there for the Wisps. As you gotta try to enunciate. But
Yeah, I don't have a list, but I'm starting to second guess myself.
yeah, just a little bit. But so far, Genesis though in this one, still 2 minutes remaining. They're able to take the lead off of that mistake that we saw earlier, the whiff, and they're holding on to a 1-goal lead. But Wisp, they gotta turn something on here, because if they lose this game, they're gonna be losing the series.
Yeah, and another mistake coming out, another opportunity here for Eddie, and he's gonna put it in. It's just mistake after mistake for Wisps. This time, balling out each other. Fuse, he passes it straight up, and Mutant Zombies, I mean, he just wasn't ready for that. And that might put Genesis out ahead with 1.5 minutes.
Yeah, and that's the 3rd goal for Eddie. He's really popping off in this game, as he's got a hat trick. Mace also picking up 4 assists at the moment, but we're going to have to see a turnaround. Otherwise, Genesis is going to be holding on to this win. And we'll have to see as Fuse trying to put one on, looking for a shot, but Kyros cutting it off. Can they hold on for the final minute and 17 seconds here? Vibin, you're chilling over the top of one Fuse off the backboard. As Eddie trying to send this one out, but it's still in the offensive zone. A miss comes out from Kyros as Eddie, he's trying to race back to it, barely able to get the touch. That could have been dangerous, but fortunately for Genesis, they're able to get it out. But now Fuse taking it up, passing in the middle, chilling. He's got the net to shoot at, and a great passing play there as they put it home and bring themselves within 1.
That's the kind of plays we're expecting from Fuse to chill, and that's the combo that has been a miss this whole series. And finally, I think that may be one of the few assisted goals for them in the series, as the first 2 goals for this game 4 have kind of just been low percentage chances coming out from Fuse. The first one being the dunk and that slow roller into the right post. And they're going to have to find some more of that.
Oh.
That's a great save coming out. With only 45 seconds, they're going to have to find some sort of great play again to try and tie it up.
They still have time here. If they're going to want to force a game 5, they're going to have to get back on the offense here as Mutant Zombieism looking for the bumps, but that one goes right by Fuse. Chillin, able to get the touch out in the midfield. Ball over to the corner, Chillin, trying to get back to it, but he can't find it. As now Mutant Zombieism trying to get in on the offense. Final 20 seconds here. Trying to send this one in. Fuse goes too far by it. He's got the boost to work with, but in an awkward spot as a little bit of a double commit comes out. Eddie going to pop it up. It could be dangerous as 2 Genesis teams, they run into each other. And now Mace, he's got to get a clear here. Mutant Zombieism trying to get the dunk. Ball still in, final 5 seconds here. Can they get something? Kyros with a beautiful dunk, and it goes down the field, and it's going to hit the ground, and Genesis is going to hold on to get the victory here, and they will improve to 1-0 in the conference, in the division. Great game from them, and they're going to be looking solid right now.
Yeah, and that was just such a... I mean, that was great play from Genesis, honestly, for all 4 of those games. But man, that last-minute opportunity with Chillin and Mutant Zombieism, it was an open net, and I think Zombieism just bumped Chillin enough off that ball to make him send it over to the right side. And then another goal opportunity shortly after, but Kyros just denied him with the big dunk out to send it away back on the side, or the orange side, with 3 seconds left. And that secured that Game 4 win, and Genesis coming out with a 1-0 win.
Yeah, a nice one there as they're able to improve to 1-0. And now, well, Bagels, I guess so far we're even up 1 apiece here. We got a couple more teams playing later on tonight, so we'll have to see. I mean, there is 5 leagues, so there's got to be a winner between us. So we'll have to see in our our battle of the orgs here. But that was a good first game, and we've got another one coming up next here. You guys do not want to miss it. We're heading to the rival league for this next one. It's gonna be a good matchup. As we have the Panthers taking on Vortex, and we'll have to see. Magma's looking to get his revenge against Vortex, who put him on the bench last season. So he's trying to get his revenge against them, playing against Chipmunks. That'll be a good one coming up next. So make sure you guys stay tuned. If you haven't already, make sure you guys follow. And yeah, Bagels, any final words from this series?
I think Genesis just played well. Wisps, they did not play well. That was the decider. But thank you to everybody who showed up so far for the opening night. Make sure to stay tuned for the other 2 series.
Yes, sir. We got one more coming up. We'll be back in just about 10 minutes or so for Panthers versus Vortex. Stick around. You do not want to miss it.